So, I've been playing a lot of Heaven Studio recently. Heaven Studio is a tool that lets you create your own Rhythm Heaven custom remixes, which are also fully playable within the game itself. It's actually a really sick editor. You're given a good amount of minigames from the official Rhythm Heaven games, but you're also given some neat fan-made minigames to use along with the official ones. You're given all the cues, mechanics, and even certain animations in every individual game. If you really know how to use Unity, you can really do some cool things with this editor. Not every minigame is here though, and since the game got DMCA'd by Nintendo last year, they won't be here. Not by the official devs at least. Since the game is open source, there are custom builds of the game that include more minigames that weren't in the official build. It's only a matter of time until every minigame from each game is included. I've never made my own remixes, I mostly just enjoy playing them. And the cool thing about playing them is that you can play with either button controls, similar to Rhythm Heaven Megamix, mouse controls, similar to Rhythm Heaven on DS, or baton style, similar to Fever. Every minigame is optimized for whatever control style you want. I'm gonna be honest, it is very surreal playing Rhythm Heaven Fever minigames with the DS flick controls, but it's oddly fun in its own right. This game is my latest hyperfixation, which extends to the greater Rhythm Heaven franchise. This hyperfixation kicked off when Nintendo dropped the trailer of a new Rhythm Heaven game after 10 whole years. Rhythm Heaven is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises ever. It's basically a minigame collection, with each minigame offering a different scenario with a different song attached to it. In one game you're using tweezers to trim hair off of vegetables, in another game you're a masked wrestler answering questions from a reporter and posing for the camera. No two minigames are the same, and you need to get a good enough ranking to proceed through the game. Each game has a simple control scheme, once requiring you to press the A button in rhythm, and sometimes other buttons as well, except if you're playing the DS game, which is completely touch controlled. I'd say this franchise is the perfect entry point for anyone who wants to get into rhythm games. Every game in the franchise has music produced by Japanese artist Sunku. I haven't listened to his stuff outside of the Rhythm Heaven games, but if they're as good as his music in the games, then I might be missing out. If you're like me and you're not from Japan, then you might be familiar with the DS game simply titled Rhythm Heaven, or Rhythm Tengoku Gold in Japan. This was the first game released outside of Japan, but there is a game that came before it that has never been officially released outside of Japan. A game that deserves to be on Nintendo Switch Online, Rhythm Tengoku. Rhythm Tengoku is the first game in the series, and just like I said, it was never released outside of Japan. I have a theory of why they never localized it. Rhythm Tengoku was released on August 3rd, 2006, almost 2 full years into the Nintendo DS's life. It was all about the DS at that point, and they probably thought a game like Rhythm Tengoku wasn't worth localizing this late after the GBA's lifespan, especially considering the game would get a proper DS sequel only 2 years later, in Japan at least. Other territories didn't get it until 2009. With the recent reveal of Rhythm Heaven Groove, which is called Rhythm Tengoku Miracle Stars in Japan, which goes absolutely hard as a title by the way, I figured I would go back to the original game on the GBA and ramble about it to you guys. However, I'm not simply just gonna talk about the game and what it has to offer, but I will also be ranking every single minigame, including remixes, and putting them on a tier list. There are 4 tiers to this list. From least to greatest, we have the Try Again tier for games that I don't really like, the OK tier for games that I think are, well, okay, the Superb tier for games that I really like, and the Perfect tier for the games that I think are the best. I'm writing this intro before I've started my replay, so I don't even know what I'm going to think about each game, but I have a pretty good feeling I know what's going to be at the very bottom. Before getting started, I want to mention for the games that have official names thanks to Rhythm Heaven Megamix, I will be referring to those games as their official names. For everything else, I'll be referring to them as they were named in the fan-made English patch, Rhythm Heaven Silver. But without further ado, let's get to ranking from worst to greatest, starting with number 48. Yeah, this was not surprising in the slightest. I had a feeling this would be here. Quiz Show starts the try again tier, and it's such a nothing burger of a minigame. It's not even much of a rhythm game. There's no music to be heard except for the beginning, and you don't even have to follow the rhythm of the quiz man. If you memorize the number for each section, the game becomes much easier. The default number for every section is 18, 28, and 43 respectively. Sometimes the quiz man will add 1 or 2 button presses, but it doesn't get much harder. Making this list was actually pretty tough, and some of these placements could change in every given day, but Quiz Show for sure is on the bottom of the list. Number 47. The name is cute, but the game is pretty weak in my opinion. You play as these shape-shifting performers for their show, and you need to press one of the buttons on the D-pad for Tram and the A button for Pauline. The game is super short, much like a lot of games in Rhythm Tengoku. I truly don't hate any game in Rhythm Tengoku except for Quiz Show, but if I have to put anything in this spot, it's gonna be Tram and Pauline. It's super short, it's simple, and the music doesn't spark joy in me whatsoever. Sorry Trampoline, but you are in the 47 spot. Number 46. In this game, you are a wizard trying to cheer up this girl by making flowers bloom and giving her the flowers. You have to press either the A button or any direction on the D-pad in the same rhythmic pattern that the flowers start growing. Take everything I said in Tram and Pauline and carry it over to this one. It's short, simple, and the music is just okay. I do prefer the music here over Tram and Pauline though. It is quite pleasant, but it's not enough to make me love this game, you know? Number 45. I wish I liked Showtime more than I actually do. You are a monkey and you need to hit the button in rhythm with these penguins so they can catch the ball. Each penguin has its own rhythm. The gameplay is fine, but it's too short. And when you think the song is gonna go somewhere, it just loops. It's such a fun sounding song, but it doesn't spark any joy in me. I don't know, I just have other songs in this game that I prefer. I don't hate this game, it's just fine. Number 44. This gets my pick for my least favorite remix in the game. For those who don't know, a remix is when all games in one column come together and are used for one song. Fun fact, Rhythm Tengoku is the only game in the series with 5 games before a remix. Every game afterwards only has 4, which I think is a good change because that means less games to work with. And less games to work with means that each remix can stay consistently good while giving each game its own time to shine. Unfortunately, Remix 4 is my least favorite of these. It's somehow more repetitive than Remix 1, trust me, we'll get there. I don't think these games were meant to be in a remix together at the same time. I genuinely think they only sped up the music so Rapman wouldn't be weird to play, because Rapman is only used once and that's it. Yet they use Quiz Show twice, once at the beginning and another time at the end, which drags on the remix more than it needs to. And honestly, the more times that Quiz Show gets used, the more depressed I get. I'm sorry Remix 4, you just don't have the sauce. And those were the only games in the Try Again tier. The only minigames that I thought were less good than the rest. But if I'm being honest, like I said before, I don't hate any of these games to be honest. As much as I talk about Quiz Show, I don't hate it, I just really dislike it, which you could count as hate. Yeah, there are games that I like more than others, but how was I supposed to rank these in order? If you were to ask me a month from now, this ranking could change, but here's how I'm feeling in the present. I should have stated this in the beginning, but these are all my opinions. This isn't supposed to be a definitive ranking or anything. I just want to talk about a silly rhythm game that I love with every fiber of my being. With that being said, let's move on with the rankings. Time to see which game has the prestigious role of being the start of the OK tier. Games that are, well, okay. And that game is number 43. This one is fun. You just have to press the A button in time with 3 sets of fireworks. There's the normal fireworks, faster fireworks, and this thing that looks straight up like a bomb. I like the Japanese influence behind this one, which several games have, this being one of them. In terms of gameplay and visuals, this one isn't that interesting. The fireworks being the best part about it, but the background isn't that striking to me. Congrats Fireworks, you get to do the honors of starting this tier. Number 42. You are a white rat in the middle of 2 brown ones, and you have to stop running in time with the other rats to hide from a cat that's on the lookout in order to reach the cheese at the end. There's no actual threat of being eaten by the cat, so you don't have to worry about that. There is the threat of not getting a superb, so you do have to worry about that though. I like the music of this one, but this is a game I don't really replay much. I just don't really like this one as much as the games that are further up on the list, so it's going here. Number 41. You are these little guys and you need to press the A button in the D-pad immediately after in rhythm with the balls coming down from the top of the screen. Some balls come down faster than others. This one is fun and has a good song, but it's very short. I wish it was a bit longer. This is the first game of the list that has a sequel game. We'll look at that one a bit later. Number 40. Nightwalk is awfully simple. Literally all you are doing is pressing the A button on beat, that's it. There's actually a threat here in the form of falling off. Some jumps you are required to make, and if you fall off at any point in the game, including the very end because it's possible to fall off there too, it's an automatic try again. Each jump makes a star grow in size, and they get even bigger halfway through the song. The sky needs to be full of these stars or else you don't get the superb. Fun fact, this specific game is a reference to Play-Yan, a media player for the GBA released only in Japan. You play as this little guy who the community just calls Play-Yan because that's where he came from. We'll be seeing this guy again very soon. I do love the music for this game, it's the best part about it, which is why it's not lower on the list. Number 39. I told you we'd be seeing Play-Yan again soon. Nightwalk 2 is the first sequel on the list, and we're gonna be seeing a lot more of them coming up, often right next to their originals. This is because in Rhythm Tengoku, most of the sequel games don't come with a different arrangement of the original song. It's really just the same song, except it's slightly harder. Nightwalk 2 is slightly harder than the original because you have to dodge these fish in the air by simply not jumping. You can't jump on every beat this time, and if you forget that, then it's an automatic try again as well. The added challenge is why I like this one slightly more than the original, but other than that, it's mostly the same game with the same exact song. Number 38. This is another sequel game in which it's just the original song except slightly harder. The reason why I didn't put this one right next to the original is because I think Bouncing Road 2 is harder enough than the original that it gets a slight edge over it in comparison. I think being several stages ahead of it is warranted. That's pretty much it though. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on these kinds of sequels. Number 37. The second remix on the list, and to be honest, it was tough deciding which remix was going to be lower on the list, Remix 4 or Remix 1. In the end, I chose Remix 4 for the reasons I stated before, but why is Remix 1 up here? Well, simply because I think the music is slightly less repetitive, and I think it's more fun to play. Don't get me wrong, the music is still repetitive as hell, but I think the music overall is better than Remix 4's. Each game in the remix gets its own section, which leads me to believe that the remix is longer than it actually is because time is spent on every single game in the remix. It is the first ever remix in the franchise, so I can let it slide. It's better than Remix 4, but I'm still not very fond of this one. Number 36. You are a bunny hopping across different sea creatures in order to reach the moon. This one is similar to Nightwalk, where you just press the A button on beat, but this one gets a slight edge over it because not only is the music better, but sometimes you have to break and then resume on a certain beat. There's a break for 2 beats, 4 beats, and 8 beats. Honestly, I wish this one was longer. What is here is fun, and I just wish there was more of it. I think if it was longer and there were more challenging breaks the further it went on, that would make the game better for me. Number 35. You need to shoot these little ghosts with an arrow at the right time. Try not to get too distracted as the music sometimes speeds up or slows down. You also need to watch out for the ghosts themselves because they can duck down low, and the lower they go, the more quiet the music becomes. I like this one quite a bit, honestly. The music carries it, it's such a pleasant song in my ears. I also like how the music gets faster and slower. I think that's a fun gameplay addition. I will say though, the grading system in the earlier Rhythm Heaven games were rough. Some games you can afford to miss once or twice and still get a superb ranking. When I was recording for gameplay, I missed once in Sneaky Spirits and I only got an okay. I needed to go for a perfect before I had the ability to go for a perfect. I should have been able to miss at least once. Number 34. Second verse, same as the first. The sequel gets the edge because it's more challenging than the original, and I also like how the ghost can start from the bottom, rise up halfway through, then go back to the bottom. I just think that's funny. Number 33. This is basically the first iteration of Build to Scale, even though it wasn't officially called that until Rhythm Heaven DS, and would be continued in Rhythm Heaven Fever. The devs of Rhythm Heaven Silver even changed the name from Polyrhythm to Build to Scale to reflect that. In the OG Build to Scale, you need to get the red rods over to the other side by keeping track of both sides at the same time. One is controlled with the A button, and the other is controlled with the D-pad. I like this one, but my god, the music has such a short loop. I really wish the loop was longer, otherwise I would like the music a lot more. What is here is fun and bouncy, but I wish there was more of it. Number 32. This is a fun one. You play as a doctor trying to prevent whatever this thing is from dying from one of the viruses trying to get it. You need to press one of the directions on the D-pad to get the forks to kill the virus. This is unique because it's one of the few games, hell, the only game to not use the A button at all. It should probably be higher on the list, but there are more games that I like more than this one. This one has the same problem that Build to Scale does, in which the music is a short loop. What is here is good, but I wish there was more to the music. Number 31. In this one, various veggies are growing hair, so you need to copy the pattern that the hair grows with either the A button or the D-pad. It's simple, but a fun one to play. Some of the patterns can get pretty wild, especially in Remix 8, when sometimes you can get blinded and you have to remember the pattern by ear. The main game itself is just fine though. Not too exciting of a game to me personally, but I still think it's neat. Number 30. This is another sequel with unchanged music. The sequel is more fun to play in my opinion because it's more challenging, which is why I placed it higher than the original. Number 29. I really like Remix 2. The music is the best part of it in my opinion, but that doesn't mean playing it is bad. Almost every game in the set is used to the best of its ability, except for maybe the Bonodori, which is only used 3 short times. You could take out the Bonodori and barely anything would be changed, and 30 seconds of it is dedicated to Rat Race, when I feel like it would have been better if it was spread across the remix. What is here though is fun. Number 28. You are a man writing Japanese calligraphy, and you have to press the A button at the right time to get the sharp curves just right. You also need to press the A button at the right time to get these drops just right as well. This is a fun one. Fun fact, this game, along with Sneaky Spirits and 2 other games, were brought back in Rhythm Heaven Fever as extra games before they were brought over to Megamix. This one gets really fun halfway through once the tempo increases. This one is one of the longer games too, so it feels nice and finished. If you were to ask me on a different day, I would probably place this one higher, but this placement feels just right to me right now. Especially because we're going to be coming up on the games that I really love soon. Number 27. This is the first instance of me preferring the original game over its sequel. This is because the sequel just feels inferior to me. The music's tempo will either decrease or increase, so you need to pay attention to when the objects come flying at you. In my opinion, the way the game tries to be more difficult than the original just doesn't do it for me. I would rather have more flying objects thrown at me. Maybe add more rocks so it'll be harder if you don't have this much flow built up. As it is here, I just find it inferior to the original. And speaking of the original, number 26. Here it is, the game that started it all, the original Karate Man. In future games, Karate Man will be saved until halfway through the game, however, he's right front and center on Rhythm Tengoku, and what a great introduction. It's simple, press the A button in Rhythm when a flying object comes towards you, that's it. The game is simply iconic, along with its music. It's an absolute banger. This beat is truly non-stop, much like my love for this game. This specific Karate Man is unique because this is the only time in the entire franchise where this flow meter ever appears. You need to keep the flow meter up because if it's at 2 hearts or below, then you won't be able to punch the rocks that get thrown at you. You shouldn't have any problems if you do it perfectly though. They don't even bring back the flowchart meter for Megamix, where they bring back this specific game. Karate Man is a Rhythm Heaven staple, and I'm happy to say that his first appearance does not disappoint. I've talked about a lot of good about this game, yet it's only number 26. This is because these next games are the ones that I like even more. Number 25. This one is delightful. You are a part of these soldiers and you need to march in time with the other soldiers. You also need to look right and left whenever you are told to, though it's definitely tough to understand because the commander speaks in Japanese, and unlike the Megamix version of this game, there's no text telling you which way to look, so it's definitely harder. If you memorize it though, it's definitely a fun one. Unfortunately, it is on the shorter side though, and it ends before it can really get going. Number 24. This one is really interesting. Remix 7 is a medley of remixes 1, 2, and 4. This is the only time something like this ever happens in any of the games. I think the idea of a remix medley is really dang cool, and I wish they could do this in other games. For some reason though, it goes back to Remix 1 for the ending, as if you needed even more Remix 1 in your life, but here it is, I guess. Personally, I could use more Remix 2 in my life, but that's just me. Number 23. That's right, Built to Scale is back, and it's much more challenging than the original. First off, the tempo has been increased compared to the original, and this time there's more polyrhythming compared to the original. And some of these patterns can get really tricky too. Definitely took me a few tries to perfect when I first ever played this game. This is one of the few sequels with a big edge over the original because I think the difficulty increase makes it much better over the original. Number 22. This is another instance of a sequel having an actual different arrangement compared to the original song on this list. You are the woman on the right, and depending on what color the subtitles are for the woman on the left, you need to press the A button at the right time, and how you press it changes depending on the color. This is a game I wish was brought back for Megamix because it's very fun. I do prefer the original rap men over rap women though. Speaking of, number 21. I only prefer this one over rap women because I like rap men's instrumental more. Don't get me wrong, they're both amazing and I struggled to choose which one I liked more, but the original won in the end. Number 20. The last remix of the game, and I think this is a good one. It's definitely long though, the second longest remix in the game at almost 3 minutes long. The music is somewhat repetitive, but it shakes up a little bit as the game goes on. I really like this sort of fake out in the clappy trio section, because you think they would clap right here, but then they don't until you get to the second part, and there we go, there's the clap. We also get to see Karate Man lock the f*** in, as the game goes all black and white with Japanese text in the background. I don't know what it says though. I also like how as the game goes on, you get encouraged to finally get to the end, like you're being encouraged because you've come this far, and you finally made it to the end of the game. A great end to a great game, but there's more games to rank, so don't go anywhere yet. Number 19. This one is really fun. It's the very first game with lyrics, and it's a very pleasant one at that. You are the girl on the far right, and you need to clap using the A button in time with the lyrics. When they say pan, you need to clap once, and twice when they say panpa. It takes place during the Bon Festival, which is a real thing in Japan along with this dance. I find that really neat, and the song for this game is actually really catchy too. This is a game that I always love playing. Number 18. All of the games that I love are in the first column. This is one of them. This game, along with one more game coming up, is another one of the extra games that they brought back for Rhythm Heaven Fever. You are the third monkey in this trio, and you need to press the A button in time with the other monkeys. This is another simple game, but I absolutely love the music. It's so pleasing to my ears. I love the visuals, I love the gameplay, I love the music. It's a trio of monkeys with red afros with sparkles in them. What more could you want? Now we are coming up on the superb tier for the games that I love more than the rest, and the games that I frequently come back to whenever I play this game. These are games that I wholeheartedly love playing. The first game to start this tier is number 17. This is the sequel to the Bonadori, and it's another sequel game with a different arrangement of the original song. The idea behind it is that the girls are coming back for a modern rendition of the song. At least I think so. It's so fun and bouncy, I love it more than the original, and the gameplay is more challenging as well. This one is just pure fun. Number 16. This is better than the original marching orders in every way. The gameplay is the same, but this time you are the commander marching with other commanders in bunny suits for some reason. It's a really funny visual, I love it. You also need to sometimes look to the left or right as you're walking at the same time, so keep your ears peeled. Again, it's in Japanese with no text, so you have to do some memorizing, but you'll get it eventually. The music is the same, but the overall game is longer, which also makes it slightly better in my opinion, since I thought the original was too short. Number 15. Another staple of the overall franchise. Every Rhythm Heaven game has its own iteration of Samurai Slice, and we can thank Rhythm Tengoku for starting it. The game is simple. Monsters are approaching you, and you need to press the A button to slice them up. Getting a perfect on this one is super fun because the music speeds up like crazy, and it feels really good when you're slicing the monsters perfectly until you get to the end when it slows back down for the last two monsters. It's really fun stuff. The music is really good too, and they even bring it back as an endless game in Rhythm Heaven DS, which is neat. Number 14. Spaceball is an absolute joy to play. You need to press the A button to hit a baseball in time with the music. There's a baseball that comes out normally and one that stays in the air longer. I really like this game, and the music is a highlight. The music is so fun and catchy. It's genuinely music that I could listen to without sound effects, much like all the other music in this tier. I love when the camera zooms out and you have to pay attention to the music, and I even love when the head changes to a red guy and eventually this ugly bunny looking ass thing. I love it. Number 13. Spaceball 2 is another one of those games that have the same arrangement as the original, but the gameplay is harder. This specific game, however, has one difference. At some point, the tempo increases, then it just keeps increasing more and more and more, until the camera eventually starts zooming out. Then the music starts to fade until there's just nothing, and you have to rely on the rhythm of the sound effects in order to not miss. I think Spaceball 2 is better than the original because it's more challenging and therefore more fun to me.
Number 12.
Space Dance is such a joy to play. You are a spaceman dancing along with other spacemen as this yellow guy is dancing along with you. When they raise their hand in the air, you need to press the right directional button. If they stand slightly taller, then you need to press the down button. And when they put their hands up and say P, then you need to press the A button to punch. I love the vibes in this one, it's just so fun. I love the space aesthetic, and I love the designs of the spacemen. They were so good they would be brought back in Rhythm Heaven DS. We'll be coming back to these guys soon. Number 11. You are a woman tap dancing along with two monkeys. When they go, tap once with the A button. When they go, tap twice. When they go, then tap 3 times. When they bend down and jump, press the A button when you land. This is the 4th and last game that they brought back for the Rhythm Heaven Fever as an extra game. This game is great. I especially love this random ass giraffe that appears out of f***ing nowhere and randomly says things throughout the song. Where did this giraffe come from? Why is it here? Why is it watching us? And why does it love tap? His ass would fall and break its legs the moment it even tried to start tap dancing. Anyway, the game is fun, and we'll be coming back to it later. Number 10. This is the sequel to Space Dance. The gameplay is the same, except you are a part of these dapper-looking spacemen dancing along with the human this time. I think Cosmic Dance has better music and better gameplay than Space Dance. I don't know, I just love the jazzy vibes of this one. Number 9. Ninja Bodyguard is so fun, man. You play as a ninja and you have to protect what I assume is your sensei from people that want to kill him. The music plays and one or more men shoot their arrows, and you have to copy the same pattern by swinging your sword back and forth by pressing the A button and then the D-pad. I don't know why, but I just find this game really fun to play, and I absolutely adore the music. But it's so catchy and perfect for a Ninja Bodyguard. It's on the short side, but what's here is really good. Number 8. In this sequel, you are playing as a reincarnation of the ninja from the original Ninja Bodyguard. And this time, you are a man that has to defend what I assume is your girlfriend from people that want to pelt her with slingshots for some reason. The music is the same, but with more challenging gameplay, which is why I like it more. I also really like the concept of the man being a reincarnation of the ninja. I think that's really cool. Number 7. Now this one is very unique because it's one of 2 games that use not only the A button, but also the B button along with the D-pad. You play as a trio of tossers. A is Aka-chan, B is Alkun, and the D-pad is Kian. Also, I find it funny how the game is toss boys, yet one of them is a girl. The ball comes out of a hole and the person that catches it calls out to one of the other tossers. And whoever the ball goes to, press the corresponding button to the beat and keep on going from there. There are also some special moves that they can perform. Aka-chan and Alkun will sometimes pass the ball to each other quickly. Alkun will sometimes pass the ball to himself before passing it to someone else, and Kian will quickly pass the ball to someone else. He can even destroy the ball with his gigantic Hulk hands. This game is very fun, but I didn't think much of this game when I first played it. Even Nintendo didn't because they didn't bring it back for Megamix, but I think they should have because this game is actually really fun. It's one of the best games in Rhythm Tengoku, and the best game that never got a Megamix version. Oh well. The gameplay is fun, and the music is great. What more could you want? More difficulty? Well... Number 6. Here it is! Toss Boys but with more difficulty! Harder gameplay, better hairstyles, same music. This is the second game that uses A, B, and the D-pad, literally the sequel to the last one. I like this one better because it's harder and therefore more engaging. Number 5. I love the Snappy Trio. The original was just okay, but this version is better in every way possible. I love this game. This time you are the same monkeys from the original, but you are looking much more snappy this time, and you're in the Wild Wild West. The music has been given a different arrangement with a Western style to fit the theme. There are much more claps and much faster claps too, especially this part right here. It's a clappy trio but more challenging and with amazing music. This is an example of a sequel that is way better than the original in my eyes. Number 4. The first ever remix with lyrics. I remember playing this game for the first time and absolutely falling in love with Remix 3 and this song. This was the moment when I realized, yo, I think I love this game. First off, the song for this remix, Koi no Honey Sweet Angel, is just incredible. Please do yourself a favor and listen to the full version of this song. It's so catchy and fun, and I absolutely just adore it. In fact, listen to the entire OST. There is a high quality version of the OST without the GBA instruments and compression. Give it a listen, it's really good stuff. I really have nothing bad to say about Remix 3. Every game here is fun and used pretty well. This is a remix that I always love playing, with a song I always love listening to. And here we are, we finally made it, the top 3. These 3 games are in the perfect tier. These are games that I love most throughout the entire game, and the games I always love replaying anytime I boot this game up. These 3 games are my favorites in the entire game. Let's finish this. Number 3. The turbo in this game's title is not a lie. Turbo Tap Trial is much faster than the original. This was one of the hardest games to perfect when I first played this game. Now I'm pretty good at it, but I still get a miss from time to time. Between Tengoku and Megamix, I've grown to be pretty good at this game, I think. This time you are the same girl with the same monkeys, except you are dripped the f out. It's one of the best outfit changes between games in Rhythm Tengoku. Turbo Tap Trial is my favorite non-remixed rhythm game, and I enjoy playing it every time I boot it up. Number 2. Remix 5. Oh my god, Remix 5. I love Remix 5 so much. It's so good. First off, the song for it is so good. Please do yourself a huge favor and listen to the full version of this song too. It's amazing. It's genuinely one of the best lyrical songs in all of Rhythm Heaven. I love this song and I love the gameplay. It uses a little too much tap trial, but that's okay because I love tap trial. I love this remix and everything about it. The only thing I don't like about it is how long it is. That's not an actual criticism because every lyrical song in the series uses the short version, but oh my god, this song is so good, y'all. Please listen to it when you can. It is my second favorite remix in the game. What's number 1, you may ask? Well, number 1. Remix 6 is my favorite remix in the game. It's a medley of every single rhythm game in Tengoku, and it is really good. These medleys go on to become a staple of Rhythm Heaven, and it all started here. Oddly enough, it's not the last remix in the game, it's only the 6th remix. It makes sense, since from Remix 6 onwards, it's all sequel games, but I like what future games do and have the big medley at Remix 10. It's certainly not the best final remix in the series, but it is the first, and it's still pretty good in its own right. It's the best remix in the game for a reason. Every game is used very well here. It might not be the fastest final remix, but what is here is still pretty fun and very enjoyable. It's the best remix in the game and my pick for the number 1 game overall. And there we have it. Every rhythm game in Rhythm Tengoku ranked. And here's my full tier list. I'll put the link in the description if you want to do this yourself. Do you have different opinions than me? Do you like a game that I rated low? Do you hate a game that I rated high? Let me know in the description. I'd like to see your input. Putting this list together was harder than I thought it was going to be. Like I said before, there isn't a game in this list that I particularly hate. I may greatly dislike Quiz Show, but I can't lie and say that I didn't enjoy spamming those buttons. Sure, every single game I put above it was better, but still. All of these games are great, and all of these games make up one game in a series that I really love. I genuinely enjoyed playing this game again. I do want to talk about the other games at some point because I just love this series that much. There isn't a bad Rhythm Heaven game in my eyes, even though Fever is my favorite. This is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises, and I'm so happy that this series isn't over yet. Stay lovely, everybody, and if you need me, I'll be playing Heaven Studio over and over again until Groove comes out. Hello everybody, it is me, Jerome, and if you've made it this far into the video, then thank you so much for sticking around. I knew pretty early on after the Sonic Superstars video that I wanted to do a video on something Rhythm Heaven related, and the recent reveal of Rhythm Heaven Groove solidified that choice, so I hope you enjoyed. I love Rhythm Heaven so much, and I am looking forward to Groove when that comes out. But yes, if you've enjoyed, thank you so much for getting this far. If you enjoyed it, please do the whole liking and subscribing thing. You know, I'm trying to get the I want this channel to be something. I want this channel to be something, man. And I really hope you enjoyed, because I had fun going back to this game and playing it again and putting my thoughts together for a video that hopefully you enjoyed. And hopefully I sounded better doing it too, because I got a new mic. I got a new mic specifically for making videos, and I hope this one sounds good, because it's what I'm going to have for a while because I don't have much money. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, do all that stuff. And I will see you next time. The next time I decide to make a video, I'll probably go back to Sonic. Like the next video will probably be Sonic related, we'll see. But until then, stay lovely, people.